After a week in emergency hospital care, Noah showed signs of improvement and within the next 2 months was moved into the progressive care unit, relearning skills as simple as swallowing. Eventually, he moved to rehab, which meant getting back on his feet.
I can remember the first days, and he would just not want to stand. He couldn't
sit up.
But he was much more conscious. His memory, however, was shot. His parents had to retell him every day about the accident.
It was hard because you would have to explain to him, how bad it was, and it's like every time he would relive that shock of what had happened.
The Griffiths say that one nurse in particular told them what he thought had happened. With Noah healing so quickly and able to communicate was a miracle.
He said, "Do you know you're part of the Miracle Club?" And I was like, "No, what's that mean?" And he's like, "You're part of the Miracle Club. None of us can explain why you're doing so well."
It wasn't until after Noah took his first steps, was released from rehabilitation, returned to classes at South Vigo High School, and went to a follow-up appointment that the family realized his recovery was miraculous.
The doctor asked him if he had gone back to school, and he's like, yeah. And he was disappointed in his grades. And the doctor, she's like, well, people that had your injury, they don't go back to school. She said very rarely do they get out of bed.
In fact, Noah's brain trauma was a diffuse axonal injury grade 3, and there is no grade 4. However, Noah's standards for himself are set pretty high. Not only did he return to school, but signed up for advanced classes, though he realized he'd have more challenges to overcome.
Used to make all A's. All A's had 3.7, 3.8 GPA. And now I make B's and C's, and it drives me absolutely crazy because I used to never work hard to make those A's, and now I work, super hard, and I get B's and C's.
Noah says his biggest struggle is retaining information, but his parents say that's something they'll gladly deal with.
Okay, so we have to deal with a drop foot or some memory issues or something, but he's here.
He's Noah.
Yeah.
One of the big things they kept telling us was they're like, he's doing well, but there may be some personality quirks where he may never be the same kid he was before this accident, and that was really hard for us to swallow.
But Noah from before.
He's very outgoing, silly. He's a good kid. He really is a lot of fun to talk to. He's always been very well spoken. He's just a lot of fun to be around. He's just a really good, solid individual. Everybody who meets him loves Noah.
Did return, just with an incredible news story. He was even reinstated to work at Fresh Time.
They were like, "It's good to see you back to normal. It's good to see you back."
After everything this past year, the Griffiths' faith planted some new roots. With a new lease on life and family motto, not to sweat the small stuff, the Griffiths are grateful.
It will be close to 2 years before Noah experiences a full recovery. He still goes to physical and occupational therapy. We learned from one of Noah's doctors that there are many unseen challenges for people with brain injuries like mood swings and depression. But she says given such a strong support system that Noah has, she's sure his recovery will only continue to progress. And you can catch the full story over on our website, mywabashvalley.com.